So that's it. Tough words, strong words, deep words coming from. Anytime, any day, you want to give him your salute because he's been there, done that. Former Super Eagles coach, football administrator, a technical person. Put high chief if you want to. Adegboye Onigbinde, saying it the way it is, that everything rises and falls on leadership. Guys, he talks about being part of a panel where the person that came third in a coaching interview got the job. Third. And he's wondering.
They feel, okay, you know, when you feel, okay, I think I can work more with this one. I think this one's salary is just so much. I think I really cannot pay this one, but this will be comfortable with our system. You know, such things comes to play, and you're like, okay, maybe that's why the third person was hired.
So I'm glad he said the things he said, and hopefully the Nigerian Football Federation, they're watching, they're listening, we're still trying to set the agenda, and I think he did a great job. He talked about we coming quickly to blame players. Now what about administration? Well, these players didn't play so well. Did you bother to find out how they prepared for the game? Did you bother to find out how welfare was handled? That's what he was saying. And because this man has been to the World Cup, he has seen it all with football, particularly with administration, he has what it takes to say all of what he was saying. And he did it very well. So that's what we're saying. We just want football in this country to be admirable again. And then not just football, sports in general.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, joining us to talk about these and of course so much more. Of course, we'll also be looking at the papers. Our Tana is in the house. You know, welcome to the show, correspondent. Punch newspaper.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. It's nice being with the cream.
It's been a while.
And I'm sure, Tana, you also, you've been following what's going on in Nigerian football. You listened to Adegboye Onigbinde. What are your thoughts on what he said? Because it was really deep.
Yeah, it's a shame. And I have so much respect for Adegboye Onigbinde because he's one of the few who can come out and talk. Yeah. If you check most Nigerian coaches, because of what they want to benefit, what they stand to benefit, they don't talk. We have a lot of players who are, a lot of coaches or ex-coaches who are being owed, and they don't even want to talk because they are hoping that one day they are going to get a job. But Onigbinde comes out and says it as it is. He doesn't care whose ox is God, and that is what we actually need. Technically, he's worked with CAF, he's worked with FIFA. So what are you going to tell such a man?
I know.
He knows what football is all about. If it is technical, if it is practical, if it is theoretical. And he's actually shown it. He did so well with Shooting Stars. He took Nigeria to the final of the 1984 AFCON, and then took us to the World Cup. So this man knows what he's saying. But unfortunately, nobody is listening to the old man, the Modakeke high chief, like he'll say.
And you heard what he said about asking for more balls for training, and then somebody queried him. He said, no, he doesn't blame the man, and that's the limit of his knowledge, because he doesn't understand.
You can't give what you don't have.
That's what it is.
That was in 1984. I actually had an interview severally, and he'll take you back. There was no balls for the national team to train. It was a tradition until Westerhoff came and then shouted himself hoarse. And the papers were shouting here and there, Westerhoff goes gaga. But the man had to go gaga to ensure that he had little things as training balls.
But that's years ago now. That's no longer the case. Thankfully, no ball issues again. So all that
it's no longer because somebody had to break it, and it had to take a white man to break it. Probably if it were Nigerian coaches that we had all through till now, we will still be in the same situation.
I don't think so, because they'll grow out of that.
Well, hopefully.
Okay, I have Sports Day with me, and the big headline screaming here is actually saying Mikel must leave Chelsea.
That's according to who? Experts. Who's the experts?
Okay. Who is the person that's talking about this?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to
check details of it is on page 4 of a Sports Day. Atana, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it really has to leave. If you recall, Cecilia, we had an interview together with his agent, John Shitu, and he said he should have left. And you asked the question particularly, what are we going to see in the January transfer window? And he said, let's wait and see. I think if Mikel wants to remain as a top-class footballer, he has to leave Chelsea. He has to go elsewhere and prove that, yes, I'm a quality player, I'm a first-team player, and I can still give my best.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. It's spent about 10 years now. Chelsea's won everything, everything there is to win.
That's right. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, why not move on? 28 now.
Give yourself a new challenge.
Exactly,
of course, new challenge. And Mikel, when he was growing up, we knew as a footballer, we knew what he could do. At a point, he was compared with the inimitable Lionel Messi. They played together and all that.
That was not a fair comparison.
well, I think if he actually, he would have probably been maybe a class below, not two below.
Also made the same level of noise at that time.
Yeah.
You know,
no chance.
No, he should have been a class below.
Come on, what are you talking about?
No chance. Messi at that under 20 World Cup was head and shoulders above everybody at that tournament. I remember in Holland. Come on.
Yeah, he was.
He was close. That's what I'm saying. It was close, but it was still miles behind. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, even after the competition, his name didn't die.
When I'm
saying kept on talking about it.
Mikel's name is still
from Manchester United to Chelsea also give us some good talking points.
What I'm saying is, when you start making comparisons and saying, "Oh, you should have had a similar career to Lionel Messi," no, that's not how it works.
Because
Mikel has had a decent career for himself right now.
Check the foundation of Lionel Messi. We talked about the fact that he was 13 when he went to Barcelona Academy. He was already there when he played at the under-20 level. So you can't even compare.
No, there's no basis for comparison.
No basis at
but
all.
Of course, if he had moved on, we would probably have seen a situation where we see him as a first-team player, a top African player, one way or the other. So he could probably play side by side with Lionel Messi. Yaya Toure did that as well. I mean, we were expecting Mikel to get to such a level. You can't compare. Messi's in a class of his own. If you have a Cristiano Ronaldo struggling to be at the same level with Lionel, then you know that no other person, at least for now,
it's even comical. It's not even Neymar.
Yeah.
But I think you're actually right about that one. Now, also on Sport Day, we have this one, African Clubs Basketball Cup. Pillars defeat Madagascar opponent. They lost their first 2 games, and of course they managed to win this one. They're in the quarterfinal.
Yes, they've moved on. I think they realized that they needed to prove that they are Nigerian champions and big team. And on the continent, you don't just go there and lose 3 games. I think this is maybe good for them. We don't know what the team is passing through on the ground. All we just see is that they've lost 2 games, they've won 1 and all of that. So let's give it to them and hope.
Because this is the same kind of pillars that couldn't go to the last edition because
they had some issues.
Yeah, because of issues that
papers didn't come, they were not notified.
Yeah, but we all know the politics behind all these.
Even what about Mark Mentos, who are supposed to be Nigerian champions, are not even there. They withdrew last minute, and they didn't really give reasons for that withdrawal and all that. So Scandal Pillars happens to be the only one that are there right now. So you ask yourself, what was really happening in basketball. But we thought it has actually picked up because of what we experienced this season and all that. But I think hopefully the authorities and management of that club can, maybe later after this tournament, can also give us reasons why they pulled out of it. But Scandal Pillars are in the quarterfinals.
So let's come and gone. Let's just move on. No, if you don't identify your problems, you're not going to solve them. Ever when you solve them. We will not leave the Sports Day newspaper. We're not still talking about Johnny Gallo. And there's one that's at the bottom strip says, Watford Records surprise Gallo. We spoke to him this morning. The young man is it Cloud 50?
Odion has been amazing. I think for me, I would say he's a late bloomer with the national team. Yeah. Odion has, right from when he left Julius Berger to Linus Low in Norway, Udinese, Granada, and all of that. Yeah. The guy has been fantastic. And a lot of us, a lot of us had to question why he was left out of the national team setup. I was at the 2008 Under-20 World Cup, and I saw what played out when Siasia had to drop Aaron Lukman as captain and made Gallo. He's a team player, he's a motivator, and he knows, how to play with his other players. He's a humble. Yeah, very, very well. Now we can see that.
And aside that, he understands consistency. Granada now at Watford, did big things last year, continue this year. Hopefully, we'll carry that momentum into 2016.
Sure.
Not just good for him, good for Nigerian football also. And we can only wish him all the best.
I think the last time we saw Nigerians score 10 goals in the Premier League was the Yakubu time era. This is a good thing for us now, and hopefully it will keep going better.
Okay, Sports and Sun now is the next paper for review. Back to Mikel again. Mikel, according to this paper, they say Mikel wants to play at the Rio Olympics. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this is good news for us. We've had instances in the past where some of us felt he didn't want to play for the national team.
He's been showing commitment of recent.
Yes, of recent too. So things are changing.